Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts, Rebellious D and Trav. How you fellas doing today?
Chilling, bro.
Good to go, man. Ready to rock.
This is review number 2. Y'all already know on Fridays, there's 2 things we're reviewing: Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible. And This is episode 6 of Invincible. You look kind of dead. So before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
That's right. Make sure, podcast in the description.
That's right.
Give
so
us a
let's
like.
go ahead and get into today's review. So last week's episode of Invincible was really good. It was hard hitting. The action, it was even better than what we got on the first episode, because there were so many times where it's like I thought the episode was going to end, and then they just kept getting back up and they kept on going. This episode, I feel like because they gave us so much action on last week's episode, this episode, it did have action, but it wasn't as brutal and hard hitting as last week's episode. We're introduced to like these cyborg robot looking things. And I thought it was cool. I don't know if you guys caught it, but in the start of the episode, the guy that was whose family owned the university, that was the voice actor who voices Rick and Morty on Rick and Morty.
Which one?
The guy who voices Rick and Morty, it's just one guy. He voices both characters. And how I found out about this was because I was on Twitter earlier.
Oh yeah. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
I do, because he's been in the credits, but nobody knew who he was going to be playing.
Oh, okay. So he was
show.
on the. Okay, so yeah. He voiced the kid at the dorm whose father owned the university.
It's really bugging me. Man, dude. Not knowing Justin Rowland. There you go, Justin Rowland.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, I thought that this episode, I thought it was all right. Me and D, we had talked about it on the phone earlier. D, I'll let you go. Oh well, he just
your boy will go.
Yeah,
I'll take first dibs.
I passed him the ball. As soon as I did, he was gone.
Fumble.
But Trav, I mean, like, we see how this episode starts. We see that the kid, he ends up getting taken, and he pretty much gets mutilated at the start of the episode. He's getting turned into a robot. Like, how did you feel about the opening to the episode?
I thought it was great. I love that Mark be getting his ass beat. He got that ass beat last episode. He got his ass beat this episode.
Yep.
I know that, also Urza Miller was in this episode as the mad scientist dude, but Sinclair, there it is, man. Sinclair.
I thought that voice sounded familiar.
Have they alluded to Will being gay before this episode?
No, they haven't. But we found out in this episode when he said that he had slept with Rick at what was it, summer camp?
Yeah.
Or something
I think
that.
They said they met on the beach.
On the beach or something. Now, it was like the whole time Will was talking about Rick, it's like how he was hyping him up, like just some of the stuff that he was saying. I was just like, I mean, well, did him and Rick, like, did they have some sort of relationship? Because, like you said, Trav, it's like they never hinted at he was gay or anything. He was just Mark's best friend. But we find out in this episode that he is gay. And unfortunately, he loses his ex-boyfriend. They were dating.
Just want to say, I think they may have alluded to that way back on episode 1, when it was just like Mark was just Mark back then, and they were in the school, and then he gets into the fight with the bully. I think they may have alluded to it back then.
Well, I still think it's cool that it's like it's a non-issue.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be an issue
with
Mark, her best friend.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
He's accepting.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, the times we came up with it, it may not have been as
it was a problem.
It may be a kink in the relationship, for two friends to find out their best friend is gay. It may be a problem, from the era that we came from.
Well, Trav, I mean, like, just to touch on that, again, times were different back then, whereas now,
absolutely.
I think that it's better how it is now, because back when we were younger, it was taboo. You know what I'm saying? Whereas now, like, we live in a world where it's like, everybody, well, not everybody, but it's like we're accepting, of whoever you want to be. If this is what you truly are, we support it. I mean, we've already said that here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, that it's just like we're allies to, anybody that's queer. And, if we've had queer guests on the podcast before. So, yeah, we're 100% supportive here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. But yeah, I mean, like, that is cool that when he found out, because like how he found out too, it was really like a personal moment, that both of them were about to die. Mark and Will were about to die. And if he didn't say what he said, because he didn't think that he was going to be able to get through to Rick, because Rick's brain had been removed by Sinclair. I know we kind of jumped ahead a bit, but I want to go back to the beginning of the episode where it showed Black Samson, my favorite, Monster Girl, and Mark. They were in the hospital. They were being rushed there after the fight that happened on last week's episode. And Mark, he pretty much had a hole in his stomach. And we find out that Mark he was out for 6 weeks, or was it 6 days?
It definitely wasn't 6 weeks.
So it was 6 days. It was 6 days. Yeah.
I know it was 6 something. I just couldn't remember what, but yeah, he was out for 6 days. Black Samson, like, he was in pretty bad shape. But the cool thing about Black Samson is, after they kept giving him the charges to wake him up, his powers returned to him. And now, D, if he would have had those powers and he was there on that last mission, maybe he could have did something. To save the Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah, he seems pretty powerful, actually.
Yeah.
But what was that energy, though? Like,
I think it's just he might control electricity.
It might.
No, but I mean the energy that like revived him, and like
I think they were just using supercharged defibrillators.
Defibrillators, yeah.
I think they were just supercharged.
Why didn't they do that from the get-go?
Well, maybe
G said, they were supercharged. Like, they weren't.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't just use defibrillators, because you can stop somebody's heart just as well as you can start one.
Yeah, because it's like, because they went to max power. Because remember, at first, it's like, I want to say at first they had only hit them with 2, but then it's like they used all 4 of them, and then it's like that light was just radiating throughout the entire room. Everybody was just like, "Yo, what the hell is going on?" And even Black Samson doesn't know what's going on. Because he says, he's just like, "Hey, I feel like how I felt, before I lost my powers." So
yeah,
I want to see like how strong he really is now, because I think that we're
hey,
going to
Rex
get
better watch out. Watch that mouth, young whippersnapper.
Yeah,
we gonna see that rematch between Black Samson and, was it Battle Tiger? We're gonna see that rematch, and Black Samson, like, he gonna mess him up. Like, that's what I'm hoping.
That would be so sweet.
So sweet. But yeah, and then Robot, he's trying to save a Monster Girl, and he says that she needs this certain ingredient in order to heal her. And it was just like the
Wolfsbane and something else.
Yeah, and Robot, he ends up going to Antarctica to get the ingredients for it. And then we find out he's just like, yeah, I sent one of my other robots to go and do it. And Black Samson's just like, yeah, you didn't send anybody for me? Like, I just was sitting here laid up in the hospital bed.
I do want to touch real quick on what you were saying, Banks, about how strong Black Samson really is. And I wish that they would put out a power scale or something. I would love to see for this show.
Yeah.
You want Vegeta to come in with his
easy. The
sensors.
Hey, well, speaking of Vegeta, let's get to Omniman. He found out. He saw that the suit was gone.
She had a bed sheet in that bad boy.
Debbie was like, she had something that she had to do, and he was suspicious, and his suspicions were right, because she took the suit, and Debbie, she ended up going to the stylist,
tailor, bro.
Just call him Gamby.
The tailor,
and
Our boy.
She talks with him, and he looks at the suit, and he looks at it thoroughly, and he sees that Omni-Man killed the Guardians of the Globe.
That's right.
Now, like to this point, he said that he was there with him, and he got knocked out. He's been blaming this whole thing on Dark Blood the entire time.
Yep.
And just seeing Nolan, I feel like we see him floating around a lot because we saw him on last week's episode where he was there at the fight scene, and he was just he was floating above the building. That's all he was doing. And if he really wanted to go in there and do something, he could have did it. And like this is what happens here, where it's just like if he really wanted to go in there to where the tailor was and where Deppy was, he really could have went in there and he could have did something. Now that she knows the truth, she doesn't trust him, and we see this at the end of the episode where she throws the wine bottle in. It's like you've lied to me. Like, what else are you lying to me about? But yeah, I mean, like I thought it was a good episode. Of course, I'm not going to leave out what's Mark's girlfriend's name? Amber. It's like Amber and Mark. It's like they finally kind of reconcile because Samantha, she lets Amber know that Mark got hit by a bus, so that way that Amber doesn't think that Mark flaked on her again. And then when the whole Robot Man, when he comes to the school and everything, Mark, he leaves. And one thing that I like about this is because remember when we were younger and we would watch TV shows or superhero shows, and when like Peter Parker would leave the scene, Mary Jane would be like, well, where did Peter go? And he'd be like, oh, I went to go get help. Amber won't trying to hear that at all. She was just like, where were you? You left us?
She pretty much thought he was a coward.
Yeah. So yep. D, like, how do you feel about like how smart Amber is? Because I know that we had Tom White come on to one of our episodes, and he was talking about how he loves the fact that it's just like, people aren't dumb anymore. They know that, when somebody is going missing, or they should be at like Lois Lane and Superman, for example, like he says, it's like Lois Lane is the smartest reporter in the world. So she should be able to, figure out that Clark Kent is Superman. How do you feel about this whole scenario with Amber and Mark?
I just really, really like it. She's just very aware, she's not oblivious to the moment, and she's trying to give Mark a shot, man. It's just, traditional superhero stuff. Like every time I need you, you aren't, it's very Peter Parker-ish.
Yeah.
So I liked it, man. I like Amber as a character,
I do too.
Fun. It's a very fun show, man.
Yeah.
Trav, what'd you think? Yeah. Oh no. What you got?
No. I was going to ask you, did you think that she was going to cheat on him?
No.
Or do you think that she did cheat on him? I mean, because technically they weren't together anymore.
No, she doesn't. She's not a flaco. She ain't like that,
Yeah, I agree.
For lack of better words.
Look, Bank's looking for a scandal because he's caught up in a
Monster Girl.
He's caught up in a JoJo scandal right now, and he's looking to climb his way out of it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Trav.
Hey, right here, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We don't forget. Tell him, Bucky. We don't forget over here. I'm gonna go get the wings.
I don't know if I would call y'all Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Here we go, Trav.
Maybe John and Lamar. I'll call y'all that.
Nah, this guy. Dude, why he trying to kill you off, bro?
Dang. D sacrificed himself. It's like, I was like,
what you gonna do?
Hey.
Oh man.
Jeez.
Oh man. But yeah, Trav, what were your thoughts on Amber and the whole Mark scenario that happened?
I'm gonna be honest. I think I've already said this in a prior episode.
Yeah,
I could give a shit less about.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
To be honest with you, it just does nothing for me, dude. I don't care.
No, it's basically the kind of the weakest part of the show when you think about everything else that's always going on. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we see that Will, like, he's able to see that Mark is invincible, and it's just crazy how like he's on the ground and he's just looking up and he's just like, Mark, I mean, I still don't even know. I mean, I guess it's like I always like when I was younger, right? And when I used to watch Sailor Moon, like when Serena, when she would turn into Sailor Moon, or any of the Sailor Scouts for know, that reason, it's like I would just be like, how do people not know that it's like this, like Sailor Moon and Serena are not the same person? It's like they have the same hairstyle.
No, but it's the Superman effect, bro. He put the shade. I mean, he puts the glasses on, and everybody doesn't know it's Superman.
And she puts the tiara on, and everybody knows that it's Sailor Moon. I don't know. I mean, like with this, I mean, he sees. I guess he sees the hair, and because he's on the ground.
Well, it took him a while too. So if it takes your best friend some serious grilling at you to recognize you,
but Mark's wearing a mask.
Yeah, I doubt Joe, and Third Block is gonna recognize him as Invincible.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Block.
Joe and Third Block.
Joe and Third Block, baby.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to kind of reel it back to Samantha. I had mentioned her earlier, and how she tells her parents that she doesn't want to go to college. She wants to make the world a better place, and we see she makes her own little tree house, which looked really cool. And she's just going and helping people. She's become a humanitarian, and she's making the trees grow in the forest. She's saving people. She saved some people from dying when they were doing some hiking. She made some vegetables grow on the farm for the farmers and whatnot. So I like where Sam is going right now, because she's had it rough. She almost died, and then she found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. So it's like, and then her parent, like her dad is a shitty dad. And like the stuff that he says, like when he said in this episode, it's just like the day that you became a superhero.
No, the day you got your powers.
Yeah, the day you got your powers. Yeah,
was
like
the worst
that was like
day
one
of
of
my
the
life.
worst days in my life.
Oh,
I'm like, who
Jesus.
says that to their kids? Like
that guy.
It's just like, I mean, remember like on last week's episode, he was just like, you need to just get back with Rex. I don't care what he did. You need to stay.
Yeah, like Rex has got a full ride scholarship or something like that. Damn. He's like a tier 3 superhero.
Hey, if Rex was standing there when he was saying that, he was like, thanks, Dad.
Hey, you know this.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this episode, like it was an okay episode.
Yeah, it's just, you can say it's okay based on what they already gave us. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason I was like, it was kind of because they just gave you so much up until this point,
Yeah.
You were bound to hit a law.
Now,
I mean, hey, we only got 2 more episodes left too. So.
And I think that's my real issue is why make hour-long episodes? Because we talked already about this. They don't do a good job with character development anyways.
But Trav, do you feel like it's like that because there are so many characters on this show that they can't fully develop all of the characters? Because I mean, you got the new Guardians of the Globe, then you got the situation with the Graysons, and then now you got the situation with the people at the Global Defense Agency. I just feel like there's so many people on this show that you really can't.
But you don't need to for all of them. We don't even get character development from Mark.
Yeah, it just always kind of. I mean, like there are episodes where we do see it, but then there are episodes where it's like it's just Mark just doing his own thing. Like it's like I feel like there's no lesson learned for real.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wish they would have just made 24-minute episodes, and we were able to just get a weekly show that went on for quite a long time, like Batman the Animated Series, Superman, Justice League, Spider-Man.
I get what you're saying. Like your villain of the week.
I mean, that's what they do now. That's what they're doing now. It's just an hour-long episode.
Well, man, I mean, I'm cool with the hour-long episodes because it's like I feel like that they can at least,
quiet, Lily.
They could tell a good story with the amount of time that we have. But I do feel like I agree with you where it comes to the character development for like some of the characters. I mean, we already know what we're getting ourselves into, and it's like I'm kind of disappointed that we're almost at the end, just like with Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're almost at the end. I wish that we could have got some more episodes, but again, this is the first season, and I'm sure that we're going to go ahead and get a season 2. I'm just waiting on that reveal where Omni-Man finally reveals that I was sent to this planet to conquer it. That's all I want to see. And who's there to stop him? Like, for real, like who on that planet is strong enough to stop Omni-Man?
Well, nobody individually, but as a team. That's going to be the whole gimmick is, as a team, just like Thanos.
Yeah, that's why he took out the Guardians of the Globe. Now, me and D, we were talking about this earlier. D, I know that you said that you've been doing a little bit of research on some of the characters, and you was telling me that somebody survived when Omni-Man went to kill the Guardians of the Globe.
All right, 2 things that I guess kind of spoilers. Darkwing is not there for that stuff. Or isn't that his name? Darkwing.
Yeah,
and
Darkwing,
then Immortal does survive, and he becomes kind of like a ambassador or a mentor to younger heroes.
Yeah, they kind of did that in the ending credits.
Yeah,
where
with Immortal. Yeah,
they dug him up.
So I thought it was just there is subtle changes, but for the most part, it's very interesting. I can't wait. I hope that it does get picked up for a second season, because I really want to see this story play out.
Yeah, I
don't want to give anything away, but this stuff's interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully next week's episode, we get a little bit more action. I do wonder what's going to happen now that Debbie knows what Omni-Man has done. Like, is he gonna try to turn Mark against his mother? Is he gonna do something to her? I mean, it's going to be really interesting seeing what happens next. Is Damien Darkblood going to return? Who knows? I mean, like, I want to see him before the season ends. So, let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode of Invincible. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did it meet your needs on your Invincible weekly fix? But D, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you at.
That's going to be rebellious _D23 at Instagram.com. Trav?
Put the stamp on it.
Hey, I see. Hey, he's yelling now. He bringing back the screen.
I had to. Go John Walker on.
Hey, and man, for your boy, it is a one-stop shop on the Instagrams at ZK Audio. And again, Mark's getting his ass whooped every week. Where can they find a hero to help Mark out, man?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at King Benji _Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can look me up on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you for watching our review. Make sure you tune in tomorrow where we do our My Hero Academia review. And then on Sunday, when I have my My Hero Academia manga review for chapter 309. With that being said, thank you for joining us here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.